So then how do you not burn out?
I'll burn out and for like a week or two, I put out less content, and not because I want to, but because I physically can't bring myself to do it. You find yourself, because the job is non-stop, you want to take a rest, but you feel guilty that you're not working. And so you never truly rest, and you get lost in that cycle. I am happy, I'm a happy person, I'm very happy with where I am, but I'm not fulfilled. Hi, I'm Italian Bach, and I'm either great company or in great company.
Fucking cocktail now. I thought bubbling queef was really... I thought bubbling queef, you're popping out a baby Deborah. She'll try and breastfeed you, I think. Where's the fucking TV? I need to run and jump into it immediately.
No. Why the name Italian Bach?
It was an old gamer tag, because I'm only quarter Italian, and I thought when I was making the TikTok account and my YouTube account, it was at the time that I was studying like Mr. Beast and stuff like that, and I was like, a lot of the YouTubers and creators who go far don't use their name. I could be Isaac Smith, but there'll be another Isaac Smith, but there's not another Italian Bach.
History is our playbook for the future. 100% of this.
Yeah, exactly.
And people don't realize that.
Problem is, like, a lot of people look at a YouTuber now, whatever video they post now, I'll try and mimic that and I'll have the same success. But if you go back and look at the videos when they had 0 subscribers and no one was watching them, you've got to realize what they did to get the subscribers and get people watching them.
Guys, welcome back. I'm very excited. As you've seen by the trailer, we have Italian Bach coming on the show, which I'm so excited for. I'm so interested to understand the ins and outs behind a creator, how they built an audience from literally 0. He's about to walk in, but before he does, I'm gonna ask you a big favor. If you can please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Great Company, that would be amazing. Just click that button, it does us wonders. And also, let us know in the comments what you think of the show. Whether we're doing a good job, a bad job, maybe you want something to see different, maybe you want a new guest. We want to hear from you. Let us know in the comments. Okay, here we go. Enjoy this episode of Great Company with Italian Bach. My friend tells me the story, right? He he had a panic attack when he was at school because we're professional.
Let's send him off now.
That's my friend.
Yeah, triggered something.
My friend at school had a panic attack because he got made a prefect.
Oh, right.
And what he was doing is he got made the prefect. And at school, when you were made a prefect at the school that we're at, it was a surprise. So you didn't know you were becoming a prefect.
Okay.
And so it was announced in front of the school. So it was a big moment. And as he walked up, he had a jumper in front of his crotch.
Right.
And the reason is that he didn't realize he's in there, and he got an erection for no reason.
Just pure excitement.
Pure excitement.
Oh,
and
my
he
God.
didn't know what to do. So he put a jumper.
Just made it more obvious, just draw attention to it.
So he put a jumper over as he walked up, and he had a panic attack because everyone went, "What are you doing with your jumper?"
Oh, no. So he's there with a boner just panicking. Just been announced a prefect as well, and he's like, oh my God, I can't believe it. That's terrible.
It's actually the worst way. It's the worst thing to happen ever.
Did people catch on that he had a boner?
Oh, I think they probably did. I don't really know. He then sort of had a panic attack and he went out, and it was just really... Did you ever have anything really embarrassing happen to you growing up? That sort of slings to mind. You go like, God, that moment.
At the time, I didn't think it was embarrassing, but my mum revealed that it was embarrassing after the fact. We had like a talent show, and I was going to do magic, which is a cool thing to do at a talent show.
Yeah.
But my friends had decided they were going to do magic as a duo, so I was like, okay, well, I need to go solo now. I need to go big, and so I did animal noises, and all the parents were just there watching, and I'm there just going through like frog, pigeon, eagle, just doing these. I did them for about 2 minutes. I thought I did really well. I find out 10 years later, my mum was just in the crowd like, oh my God, this is awful. And apparently all the parents were like, what is going on? This is horrific.
Sorry to cut you off, but just bring yourself back there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I'm there.
And you're there. You're on stage in front of everyone. And your frog noise, let's go.
Believe it or not, I haven't done it in a while. Robert. Wait, that's not as good as it can be. It's a little bit like that. It's a little bit.
Okay.
It's
good high energy for a stage production.
It's good high, and there's no mic as well, so no one can really hear it.
Okay. And then you went into you must have like thought that was like a warm up, and then you went
that was a warm up. That one. Yeah.
And then you went into what else are you going to next?
So I think I went wood pigeon after that.
Good one.
It's a classic to go to.
Yeah, obviously.
Which is like a.
Just quickly, did you think about your set before? Did you?
Yeah, no, I had them ready. I had them ready.
And then you went
Yeah.
into and then after wood pigeon, what would it be?
Then I did cat and dog. So cat.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's gotten worse over the years.
Not as good
actually.
as wood pigeon.
No, yeah, it's great. Wood pigeon was my speciality. No, give me another chance, Harry.
Still not as good.
It's right in my ears as well.
It's annoying because I can feel it's nearly there.
Yeah, it's just it's right on the tip of my tongue. I was a lot better at that at the time. I haven't been warming up.
Did you and what was the crescendo? What was the
That was Eagle,
oh,
which has gone seriously downhill now. Yeah, I'll give it a go. But if it's bad, just pretend it didn't happen, okay? Because I have to put quite a lot of energy into this. I promise you it was better at the time. There was more throat to it. Now it's a bit breathy, but and the crowd erupted. It was incredible. The parents loved it. They really did. Well, I thought they did at the time, but apparently not.
how old were you, Kyle?
Oh, I probably about 12, I think.
So good prime age.
Probably should have been singing or dancing or something.
Oh, just not even on stage.
Could have passed up. A lot of people passed up on the talent show. I was like, no, this is good enough. I'm going up there. But I wasn't embarrassed at the time.
Yeah, that's
so
good.
That's the main thing, you know. It felt good.
Oh my god! I say I need a before we get into anything, right? So I'm calling you Isaac, which is your name is Isaac Smith.
Yeah.
But you're better known for your internet personality, which is
Italian Batch.
Italian Bach.
Yeah, or Batch.
And what's so amazing to you is that we've never actually met.
No, never.
But for some reason, I don't know why, maybe it's because I'm such a fan of yours, is that as soon as you walked in, I felt immediately connected to you.
I know you chased me down the stairs.
I know. I actually haven't had that before with anyone.
Oh, really?
I swear to God, I promise you, on this show, I will never lie. I'll just be honest. I've never had that before. I honestly, for some reason in my head, I thought I knew you.
Yeah.
More. I've never met you.
Yeah.
But I've just seen every single one of your videos.
You're probably sick of my face.
No, not at all. Do you have that with a lot of people? Is that what happens with the sort of following that you have, that people really feel like they know you?
I do feel like a lot of interactions I have with viewers is they're always really good, and they do. I had one the other day actually, and they were like sort of out weirding me, and I thought, oh, this is great. Like she came over, she was like, "Hello, my lady." I was like, "What?" Now I don't know how to react because usually that's my line. I don't know how to go. Don't know where to go from there.
So what did you do?
My lord, obviously, couldn't let her do it herself. And I had to sort of step back and think, what am I doing right now? But they do seem to, yeah, they just seem to be more comfortable, as if they do know me, which is nice. It's always nice when you have like an interaction like that. So
it is nice.
Yeah.
When was the first video that you made and you put it up? And what was it?
The first videos I started making was with a friend. I was like 7 years old. We started making a lot of videos on Facebook. We were watching I'm a Celeb, and we would just recreate, like pretend to be Anton Deck, and then we'd edit it so it looked like an I'm a Celeb episode. And then we started doing scooter montages. Like
what a scooter montage?
Like just stunts on the scooters.
Sick.
Montage that, upload that.
And this is all to YouTube.
This was on YouTube.
So this would have been in 2007.
Yeah, a long time ago.
Because you were born 2000, right? So,
yeah.
Okay.
And then I turned up at his house. I spent a lot of time at his house. He spent a lot of time at my house because our mums were best friends. And I turned up and I was wearing a pink t-shirt. He was wearing a pink t-shirt. And we decided to start a channel called The Pink Bros, where we would just dance. And we must have uploaded like 5 videos of us dancing. We don't know how to dance. Never did. Still don't. Then after that, I made like gaming videos. I'd play Roblox and like put out tutorials and stuff like this. And then after that, he moved away, I moved away. And I think I uploaded again when I got to 12 years old. I uploaded a video called Pineapple War, which is still out there. That's the oldest video that's still online.
Yeah.
And it's me just cutting a pineapple to Labyrinth. And it's really dramatic and And every time I uploaded a video, I thought this is going to go viral,
Yeah,
and it never did. But it didn't stop me. And then I made a video when I was in school. A big thing for me was not to make videos in school because I didn't want people to think it was uncool. So I made a video where I was like cutting up a pineapple. No, not pineapple. It's cutting up a pumpkin this time.
Oh, wow, you mixed it up a little bit.
Yeah, and I made the video, everything. I never put it out. I did another thing where I did like an ice bath with friends. I never put that out. And then I had like an 8-year break until I then started doing content again when TikTok was about, not an 8 year, probably like a 6-year break.
Whoa.
Because that was like my school years, and I was like, I don't want to upload anything while I'm in school because it felt embarrassing.
Why did you think chopping up a pineapple to Labyrinth would be a hit?
I don't know. You know, at the time,
Labyrinth, what song was it?
Earthquake.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Of course,
yeah.
Sorry.
I predict an
Sorry.
yeah.
How does it go?
I predict an earthquake up in here. You know the one.
Yeah, I know the one.
And
where did you start on the pineapple?
right, so well, actually, so you know the pineapple cutters that you spin around.
Oh yeah.
That was obviously that was in my bedroom in my chest. So I'd film myself getting it out, spinning it like, yeah, this is the weapon. Walking downstairs, but I didn't understand cuts yet. So I'd film myself walking downstairs from loads of different angles. But it was like a minute total of me walking down the stairs, and I'd be walking down, I get to a point, and then the next scene I'm still walking down. The next scene I'm still walking down.
You're an artist.
Yeah. At the time, I felt I was really proud of that. YouTube was a weird space where something like that could do well, because it wasn't very saturated, and well,
Did you study YouTube? Because it's what I find so. What I've realised about life is okay. My co-host on Radio 1 is someone called Vic Hope. She's married to Calvin Harris.
Yeah,
the international DJ.
Yeah.
You know, what I found out with him is that he basically just sat in his room just studying music. It's not just hey, I want to be like, you know, just a DJ. He studied it. And that a lot of successful people, I realize, actually study it. You look at Mr. Beast, he studied YouTube. Did you study it and understand it?
Well, I grew up, like, that was my main thing. I'd watch YouTube. Again, with the older sister thing, they'd be watching shows that I wouldn't want to watch. Like, they'd put on Scrubs and stuff like that, and I didn't quite understand it. So as much as I'd enjoy doing that, I'd more enjoy watching YouTube because I could pick the YouTuber and I have control over my iPod or whatever it was.
Yeah.
So I grew up watching YouTube. And when I realized I wanted to be a YouTuber, I'd start idolizing these specific people. And then,
like who?
There's been a few, like a lot of prank couples. So I thought I would, this prank couple called Nikita Banana 88. And I would think, okay, I'm gonna do pranks, and then the Janoskians came out, an Australian group, and I was like, okay, that's what I want to do. And then like TGF Bro and the Sidemen, obviously, and Mr. Beast. Even that wasn't too long ago when I first started deciding, okay, I'm gonna post to YouTube and I'm gonna make it work. I went back and I watched every single one of his videos to see how he did it, and I did the same with Ryan Trahan. I went back to every single, like the beginning of his content. I watched his progression because I thought if I mirror what they did and at what point they switched up their content, and I mirror that but put my own style on it, then I would see the same results. And
that's amazing.
Any podcast that Mr. Beast has been on, I would have watched it because I was like, okay, this guy really understands it, and I would just absorb the information. But I found it interesting, even if YouTube wasn't my job or TikTok wasn't my job, I'd still be obsessed with it. I think it was one of those obsessions that really stuck for me.
It's an obsession that you felt like you loved it.
Yeah.
So what did you notice about everyone? So if you look at those YouTubers, what was the sort of formation that they did in order to get successful?
So it's like, because the problem is, like, a lot of people look at a YouTuber now when they're already established, and they'll think, okay, whatever video they post now, I'll try and mimic that and I'll have the same success. But they only have success now with those videos because they already have the following. So no matter what, that video will do well. But if you go back and look at the videos when they had 0 subscribers and no one was watching them, you've got to realize what they did to get the subscribers and get people watching them. And so I would just go through and, like, I make sort of like reaction content now, whereas like Mr. Beast is doing these huge videos. So I look back to when he was doing like reaction style content, and I'll see what he was doing and why it worked, and I'll apply that to now. And then, so I just see myself as just a few years behind the people that are doing better than me, and you just mimic what they were doing back then. And it works a lot better.
Fuck. History is our playbook for the future. 100% of this.
Yeah, exactly.
And people don't realize that. And I think people forget that you're so right. You've nailed it with that. That people make a huge mistake. They follow people now, what they're doing now. So, oh, we make these type of sweets. They need to follow us now. No, they should look like what we were doing 15 years ago, 13 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Or with YouTube, look at people now because they're successful. We need to copy that video. No, you look back at what they were doing to begin with and follow that playbook.
Yeah.
So then you grow your audience slow.
Yeah, exactly. Because if you look at what they're doing now, they've done all the hard work. This is the easier stuff now. So they don't have to optimize what they're doing because they know they're in a position where what they do will do well. Like my videos now are very different from the very beginning because I knew I had to draw in an audience, whereas now I have an audience and these platforms will naturally push my videos more because they're getting engagement already. So it's you do have to switch up what you're doing as you grow with your channel. And the beginning is the hardest because how do you convince someone to watch your video over someone who is already
You're selling a product.
successful?
How do you swap it over? Right? How do you make sure someone stops and then come over to you?
Yeah, exactly. So I think there's when you put out a piece of content, there's like two parts. You've got the idea and the execution.
Explain that to me.
So say if you apply it to TikTok,
Okay.
one of my concepts like the old man character, that would be the idea, and the execution is how I do that. I could give someone starting out an idea that I know if I were to film would do well, but it's whether they execute it right. And if they don't execute it right, that's where the problem is. So if you're putting out content now and it's not doing well, it's either the idea that's the issue or the execution that's the issue. And so in the beginning of YouTube, when I'd look back, I'd see that a lot of creators in the beginning, say I'm doing reaction stuff.
Yeah.
The stuff they're reacting to has to be really, really interesting. That has to bring someone in because they don't care about you. So the idea is what's important there. So I would bring in these videos that no one else has done. That's it's really interesting to watch by itself if I don't exist. And I would just make sure that I execute it in a way where I'm adding value. So someone's like, actually, I came for the video he's reacting to, but he's actually kind of funny, so I'll stick around.
You've nailed it, man. My big thing is this: is that people are too arrogant to be good on social media because everyone thinks that if a video doesn't do well or a clip doesn't do well or a picture doesn't do well, it's like, well, why not? It's because people don't care.
Yeah,
they don't care about you. So if your content is very selfish, no one's going to care.
Exactly.
You need to make stuff that appeals to the mass. So I always say on our team when we do like videos or whatever, I always say, but hang on a second, if someone doesn't know who Jamie or Sophie is or who I am, why the hell are they going to watch this?
Yeah.
Unless they're dedicated fans to us, they're not going to give a shit. It's fascinating.
Exactly. You need the content that applies to an audience who don't know who you are. If you're always like doing the content that you know, like if I were to keep posting TikToks that I think my followers are going to love this, then I will slowly fall off because new people don't care. Like you got to understand that you're not as important as you think you are.
Totally.
In the content, it's the idea and the execution. And if you keep on top of those and keep making sure you're getting better and better and better, then people will watch and enjoy it.
That is an amazing outlook on it because I sort of feel that that's the issue that sort of happened with the sort of content space is that everyone's kind of maybe doing it everyone wants to be famous. And that is the wrong thing. It's like when you set up a business, if you're going into a business because you want to make money, you're going to fail.
Yeah.
Because it's not, it's like making money is the byproduct of something that you're creating, right? That's the end goal.
Exactly.
But it's not the be all and end. You're going to lose a lot of time and money and stress, all those different things. And I think it's exactly the same with content creation. You can't think, I just want to be famous.
Yeah.
Because then you're not going to execute what you need to do.
Exactly. And I think that's one of the most important things you can say as well, because if so many people will start YouTube because they see the money and the fame that might come along with it, but the first 2 years, no one's going to watch your videos, and so you will give up. But if you start YouTube like I did because I love YouTube, I'd do it if it wasn't my job, then you're so relentless with it. You're uploading past that period where people aren't watching you until people start to find you, discover you, and then they're watching you. And so if you start for the right reasons, it will work. But if you start because you want the end product, you're never going to get to the point where you enjoy that.
What were you like as a kid? I want to take you all the way back. What were you like? Were you an outgoing kid? Were you an introvert? Were you an extrovert? What were you like?
I think I was an introvert. I was very anxious as a child.
Really?
Yeah, so I was an introvert. Sort of clung to mum. And yeah, I had so I've got 3 sisters. 2 are older, and my oldest is really outgoing, really funny and stuff. So she was always like the funny one, looked up to that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And just eventually over the years, I sort of just became more extrovert. But even now, I'd say I'm an introvert.
Okay, so that's so funny. The same as my sister.
Okay,
So
yeah.
I had a sister who was maybe 8 to 10 years old. She's called Tash. She's amazing. She was so cool.
Yeah.
And I remember she would throw, maybe she's little, maybe 12 years old, and she would always have like boyfriends who like I thought were like the coolest guys in the world.
Yeah.
I remember this one time when she threw a party. She threw a party at our house. We lived in the countryside, and I must have been 6 years old. Right?
Yeah.
And I feel like 6 years old, you shouldn't really be conscious of
What's going on?
what's going on.
No.
But because you have older siblings, you become more conscious.
Yeah,
Of
you
like
do.
what makes people cool, which
Yeah.
is quite a weird sort of thing to have. And I remember she threw a party in the house with all these people, and her room was up in the attic, and they would come down the stairs past my bedroom, and for the whole evening. I just lay in bed like this, like that, just sitting up in bed,
Just hoping they peek in your life.
And one person said, "Well, I went, nothing, just chilling." I was like,
At 6 years old, you're like, just chilling. Not doing anything, just chilling. Why, do you want me to join you guys? Or you need another guy down there, do you? That's insane.
It's insane.
That's so cool, though.
It must have been her 18th birthday because it was crazy. But it made me as well feel, I don't know, it made me feel maybe insecure. I don't know why.
Yeah.
So you had that.
Yeah. More like just, in general, I think I was just had anxiety. It sort of came from my mum anyway. So my mum was more introverted, I'd say. And so I just sort of followed what she did. And so that's just how whereas Kira, my older sister, was like that, the cool older sister. She was more rebellious and stuff like that. But then I'd see where rebellion gets you. And I was like, okay, well, I won't do that. And so I would just sort of just keep to myself and be that sort of child. I still had a great child. I still had loads of fun. And it was more just like I didn't like going out in like public places.
Really?
It was more like socially anxious. Yeah, that sort of thing. But content really helped me to get through that sort of thing. And although I'm an introvert, I'm happy going out and doing stuff like this and extroverted things. It's not an issue anymore. But at the time, it felt like, it's just things I didn't want to do. You know,
What kind of things make you anxious then?
it was like big crowds and stuff like that. So if my dad wanted to take me to football, I didn't want to go because I knew it would be like full of big rowdy crowds, and that's not the sort of thing. I didn't like meeting new people, like parties. If I knew, say, a friend invited me to a party, but you had a different friendship group, I wouldn't really be comfortable there because I didn't know anyone else and I didn't like to mingle. Whereas now I'm at a place where I'm fine meeting new people.
I really think I had that as well. I don't know, because God, I mean, honestly, the audience is probably bored of me saying this. So, I mean, but I went to boarding school at 8. I mean, and I say it so many times, but I remember one of my core memories as a kid is when I was sent to nursery for the first time and I was crying so much. And then one of the teachers, Mrs. Gillian, still remember,
Yeah.
she said, "Don't worry, come get the milk with me." And so we
Okay.
went and got the milk. And I was obviously this anxious kid as well. Like, it's like an anxious attachment style. It's
Yeah.
like I didn't want to leave my mum.
Yeah. I had the exact same thing. Yeah.
So I basically, how mine would manifest, I used to get a lump in my throat
Yeah.
and I felt like I couldn't swallow.
Mm.
And so I was like, oh, what's that? And obviously it was anxiety. I didn't know what it was as a kid.
Yeah.
And then it didn't really pop its head up that much until I was around like 22 years old. And then I had a panic attack and then it really popped its head up in a big way.
Yeah.
And then I just did silly things like drank to get through it, which really didn't help. I found better ways of dealing with it, but the acceptance, as you said, is the big thing.
Yeah.
Once you accept that's your makeup and that's who you are, that's kind of really helps.
Yeah.
But that took me ages.
Yeah. It's like as soon as you put a label on it, it's like, okay, I didn't want to, like you'd be feeling the same things whether you call it anxiety or not, but the fact that you put a label on it would make me feel like, oh, that's not as cool. That's not something I can help now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So what were you at school? Were you a popular kid or no?
Yeah, I was fairly popular and I didn't really struggle at school because once you know everyone, it's fine. And I had a good group of friends and I think I was well liked by a lot of people and I was fairly sporty. I was in the sports teams and stuff like that. It was more when it came to like things outside of school. Like if my friends, like when it came to going out, like we became the age where like people would go clubbing. I'd be like, not for me really. It would make me feel anxious. So that's the sort of thing.
What
where,
age is this? What age were you when you doing that?
12. No. It was boring. It was like when you hit 18, then they start going clubbing. So, and at that age, I was like, it's just not for me. I know I'm going to feel anxious there. So not something I want to do.
Good on you, man. You had a real sense of self. You knew exactly what you were like.
Yeah, and I stuck to it, and I'm glad I did, rather than, because there would be times where I'd go along with something, because I'd be like, I don't want to be boring here, but then I'd really not enjoy it, and I'd make a mental note, and I'd be like, okay, well, I'm just going to set a boundary that I'm not going to do that, because I know I'm not going to enjoy myself.
That's really mature. It's the end of the podcast.
That's really mature.
But man, it is. Because it's tricky, right, for me to understand, because you do the stage performance, right, where you do all the animals and things like that. So you clearly maybe, and you like being on stage and performing. Yeah. So you like that part. But then if you think about the psychological around it, but then also I really wanted to be popular and really wanted to be there. You almost were so comfortable in yourself, you didn't really care about that because you knew that was bad for you. But you would also go onto stage and perform because you sort of loved it. So you had a real sense of self in a sense.
I think what I liked to do and still do is I like to be an entertainer. And so the performance things and being in front of a crowd, not really, and I could talk in front of a class and it wouldn't be an issue. I don't know if it's like I would create unrealistic scenarios in my head that going out would be dangerous, or like I didn't like roller coasters. I love roller coasters now, but at the time I was like, no, I could stop breathing on a roller coaster, and I'd be like, that's me done. And I went to in Littlehampton, they had the waltzers, and I went on the waltzers once, and I thought I was dead, and I got off, and I was like, I'm never doing that again. I was dead for 5 seconds. I'm sure of it. Because I just couldn't breathe.
What do you mean you thought you were dead? You couldn't breathe?
They're spinning me so fast I couldn't take air in quick. Like the air was coming too quick at my face to take it in. And I was like, I'm never doing that again. Like that is bad for me. Maybe it was like a protective thing of my own life. I thought everything was a risk of life when it wasn't really. Even the waltzers, you know. Even now I won't actually go on the waltzers because I'm like, well, better not risk it.
Yeah,
just in case.
Yeah, what's going on? So you could breathe it in.
Yeah, it's like when you stick your head out of a window and you're like, I can't breathe through that. It's coming too quick.
Have you ever been to Winter Wonderland in London? Okay, they had this. It was years ago. I still convinced I went to the first ever Winter Wonderland.
Oh, really?
I'm just convinced. I'm actually convinced.
Yeah.
Because
What year was that?
78.
You were the only one there.
It was just post-war. I was the only one there. But I honestly, it was one of the first, and it was one of these things which you would go in, stand there, and it would spin round like this, and the bottom
just keep you there,
keeps you like that. And so I thought like this was like a really fun thing. So I started going on, and I realized that you could then spin your body. You could spin your body. So if you went at a right angle, you could get stuck there because the G-force going round.
Right, okay.
And I honestly, I thought I was going to die. Because,
wait, so you just got stuck?
Because I did this one. So much force. I was on it like this.
Yeah.
Like this against the wall. And for anyone who's just listening to this, it's quite, but my back was against the wall and I was stuck to the wall. And I wanted to act like a door and open myself up. So then,
of course.
So then I would face the wall. And
what a great idea.
And I opened myself up and the G-force slammed me with my face against the wall.
Oh, you got slammed face?
Like a door slamming. I couldn't breathe because I was so against the wall. It's actually one of the scariest moments of my life.
I'm just picturing being on the other side of the ride and seeing you do that and thinking, what is he doing? And then you just hear boom, and you're just stuck there. What was going through your head thinking, oh, it'd be a better view if I turn over this way?
I thought I would do it going down. So it'd be like, well, you know, one of those stick men that like all these things against the window and they sort of like.
Oh, and they just flip round.
They flip round. I thought I could do that.
You thought you'd just go round people just like that. And you just smacked your face and got stuck.
That happened to me. And then.
Oh, that's terrible.
I remember another time. I went to Chessington World of Adventures.
Love Chessington.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
There was something called the Magic Carpet Ride.
Yeah.
Okay. It goes.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Magic Carpet Ride sort of goes. It goes like a magic carpet, like that. I'm trying to explain it to people who aren't watching, but It's like a magic cup up and down. Makes any sense? It's like the pirate ships you see that swing back and forward,
back
but
and forth,
but
it's a
like
bit
that.
more.
Yeah. My brother went on it, but there was a height restriction. And my sister had these platform shoes. So I put her platform shoes on to get past the height restriction.
Clever.
Weirdly, I don't know why the guy doing it didn't look down and see this child is too big. And I went onto the ride, and it was just a bar that came down, and the ride started. And I suddenly realized very quickly why there was a height restriction. It honestly went so fast that I thought I was going to be whipped out. I was clinging onto it so bad. I looked to my left, and my brother is also clinging onto it. And he just looks at me, and he's so scared. He just mouths, "Hold on. We're going to die here."
Oh, no. Well, that teach you for faking your height to get on a ride.
Give me your sort of playbook, right? So you had this like hiatus from your labyrinth days. Because it was such a big hit. You were like you couldn't deal with the fame.
Yeah, I know. I had to take a break after that.
Had to take a break from it all, and just like you went a bit crazy for a bit, right? You had your time just going a bit wild.
I went wild.
Went wild.
And then I came back.
Yeah, you came back and just put your feet on the ground, and you were like, I'm not that cool.
Exactly.
You then TikTok starts coming up, right? Yeah. And it was Musically, then it became TikTok.
Yeah.
You start posting on that. How many videos are you posting a day, a week, a month? What is it looking like before? And you no one knows who you are at this point.
Well, I started posting. I made a fitness Instagram account because I was working out a lot. I was very into the gym, and it made sense to make Isaac Smith Fit, which was a TikTok account that I had
to sell training programs or to look at it as a business.
Just to upload, because I was working out anyway, and I loved video creation. So no matter what it was, I was like, I just love putting a video out there and people being like, oh, this is cool. Oh, I get value out of this. I love that. So I started doing that, and I did that for a year or so, and it did really well. I got 350,000 followers on that fitness TikTok, but I got to a point where I was like, this isn't the style of content that I enjoy watching, and it's not the style of content I enjoy making. I like to make people laugh. I like funny content because people appreciate it more, I feel. So I started the whole Italian Bach account. And
why the name Italian Bach?
It was an old gamer tag because I'm only quarter Italian. My mum's Italian, so I was like, I was probably 8 years old on Xbox, and I was like, I need a cool name, so I'll put Italian in there because it's cool to be Italian. And I tried to call myself Italian Bitch because I thought, this is so cool.
Yeah, that's wicked.
But obviously Xbox wouldn't allow that, and I got rid of the T for bitch. It was like, no, it's still too much like bitch. So then I changed the I for the A, and then you got batch. And I thought when I was making the TikTok account and my YouTube account, it was at the time that I was studying like Mr. Beast and stuff like that. And I was like, a lot of the YouTubers and creators who go far don't use their name because it's more memorable to use something someone hasn't heard before. Because I could be Isaac Smith, but there'll be another Isaac Smith, or there's other Isaacs already, but there's not another Italian Bach. There's not another Mr. Beast. There's like a name like that will stick in your head. So I thought, okay, I'll go under an alias. I'll go under Italian Bach, and that's how I'll do it. And yeah, I was posting like 5 videos a day constantly.
Isaac, that's a real marketing skill.
Well, it all came from just watching other people who had done it before, and I was trying to recognize patterns.
Yeah, but there's a difference, I think, between copying and actually having a sense of why they've done it.
Yeah.
And that's the difference, right? I mean, people can copy, right? You can try and copy, and I always think if you have an idea or whatever it is, and talk about it, because if someone's going to try and copy it, they're not going to do it as well as you because you have the feeling. People can't copy, but people can take inspiration. And you saw that as you were just like, no, that's going to stand out better than using mine. That's a sort of insight. Yeah. And that's just like a feeling.
A lot of what I did, I was trying to optimize and think what makes it more memorable. Because at the time I was taking part in trends. So I'd post a trending video, and I knew at the time in the beginning, people don't care about you. They think the video is funny, but they think it's a one-off from you. They don't think it's, this guy's funny. He got lucky, and that's a funny video. And so I was just thinking of ways that would make me unique. So I thought, okay, well, I'll make a memorable name. I'll grow a mustache, and then I cut my hair into a mullet because I thought, okay, now I have a recognizable look and a recognizable name, because I was trying to build a brand so people would be like, okay, oh, that's his video, rather than, oh, it's just a funny video, you know? trying to create something that people would remember.
How old were you at this point?
It wasn't long ago. I mean,
4 years ago? 3 years ago?
yeah, I'd say 3 years ago.
So you're 21, 22.
Yeah.
That's young, man, to understand that, I would say.
It's
Understand about building brand and understanding the identity behind a brand and understanding that you have to be unique. There's a bit, we had Rory Sutherland on, right? He's a big marketer. He's an amazing guy. And I say this a million times. Jemima, who's the producer, this is one of the first things I ever said to her is that, and I live by it, which is he said, you should never follow logic because it gets you back in the same place as everybody else. You have to go against the grain. And it stuck with me forever. And people seem to follow logic because they're like, well, that's how you make a car, so I'm going to make a car the same way.
Yeah.
But you knew straight away that you had to be different to everybody else and you had to stand out. That's unique to know that.
Yeah. I mean, and it all just came from like my obsession with YouTube. I've always been obsessed with content creators. And so, these are the people that I'd idolize. So I would just learn from what they did, and just every little detail. I'd think, okay, well, that must have played a part in their success. So I'll do that for myself. Or that I don't think that works, so I won't do that. And you just learn what works and what doesn't work. At the end of the day, it's just psychology that, like,
Totally.
TikTok and YouTube and everything. It's just human psychology. Like I saw Mr. Beast talking about even little things like you put if you're putting a number in your title, you want it to be an odd number because it sticks in someone's brain more. It stands out more than an even number. I would do 10-year-old me finding out this or whatever. So I tested that against like 9-year-old me, and 9-year-old tends to do better because it's a number that just sticks out better in your brain. You've got to. It's just psychology.
It's like, of course it is.
Or like 24 hours. A common thing is people will put 24-hour challenge in their title, or 24 hours here. But if you did 27 hours, you add 3 hours on, and
it feels random. It
feels random. And you're like, why 27 hours?
Yeah, why 27?
Exactly. And so people, because 24 is obvious, or 48 is obvious, but 47 isn't. So you think, why? And then you click to find out.
Because you need to question it. People want to question it, right?
Yeah. And then the only answer is to watch.
A moustache and mullet is now a trend. Do you think you set that up?
No. I actually think I was late on it as well. Like, people were already doing it, and I was like,
I don't think they were, were they? Maybe Agassi.
People were definitely doing it, and they've started to get rid of it now, I think. But I'm still hanging on. Like,
you cling on, man.
Yeah, don't let it go, guys, please. But there will come a time where it ends, I think.
So, big question is, how many videos were you posting at that time on TikTok, on social media? How many videos were you posting? How many videos are you posting now, would you say, a week on all platforms?
So at the time, I would post, I'd say I would aim for like 5 TikToks a day. Well, there was a time when, so I only stopped doing the fitness account when Italian Bach overtook it in following. And that was a promise I made to myself. I was like, I want to do Italian. And I said to my girlfriend, I was like, I don't want to do Isaac Smith Fit anymore. Italian Bach had like 100,000 followers, whereas Isaac Smith Fit had 350. And I was like, I'm going to stop doing the fitness and just do Italian Bach. And she was like, I don't think that's a good idea because, well, the fitness, it has better prospects for a career. And it did at the time, and it made sense. But for me, I was like, okay.
Doesn't fill your heart.
No. And I was like, okay, I know that I could make Italian Bach work. And if you get rid of your plan B, then the only thing that can work is plan A. So I was like, when I hit 350 on Italian Bach and it overtakes, I'll get rid of the fitness and I will just do that, because then it has to work because I've made the leap. And so I was posting 5 in the beginning. I think it dropped down when I started making skits. I'd post, a standard for me was 2 a day. Now I try and do 2 a day. It's more like 1 a day on the main Italian Bach account. I made a second account because I thought I need to make myself more personable, because skits, you lose your personality, and I'm playing a character. So I thought, to get people to want to watch my YouTube, I have to get my personality out more on TikTok. So I made a second account where I post more personable videos. It's just me talking. So I thought that then is more transferable to YouTube and what I'm doing on YouTube. So I'd be posting like maybe 3 on there. And then YouTube now I post 3 a week. So in total, I'd say...
You're up at nearly 1,000 videos a year.
Yeah, I've got, I think I've got over almost 1,000 videos on YouTube, but including shorts. So that's a combination of probably every TikTok video I've uploaded and YouTube videos on that account, which is within the last 2 years, or
It's a lot.
last 2 years or so.
So the question then comes, right, which is burnout
Yeah.
and fatigue.
Mm.
And I've definitely realized this with social media. I think that social media, out of any other job in the world, is always on.
Yeah.
There's no 9 to 5s, or there's no suddenly the market switches off, or you can't get hold of a client. And especially your work for yourself, it's always on, always on, always on. And it's competitive and it never stops.
That's right.
So then how do you not burn out? Or maybe you have.
I do. And I have many times.
Wow.
And it will just be it's like a cycle. Like I'll burn out and for like a week or two, I put out less content, and not because I want to, but because I physically can't bring myself to do it, because
What does it feel like when you get there, Isaac?
it's like I've got I decide that's not what I want to do anymore. It's like I've got no motivation to upload. I'm like, I know what I need to do, but I don't want to. You find yourself, because the job is nonstop, you find yourself, you burn out, you want to take a rest, but you feel guilty that you're not working. And so you never truly rest, and you get lost in that cycle for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, until eventually something just switches and you're like, no, I need to pull myself together and get back to it. And then it's just go from there. It is a cycle. It's a cycle
thing,
yeah.
though. And that's the never-ending cycle that constantly happens the whole time.
Yeah.
I saw this thing with Mr. Beast, right? Which is, and I just saw recently on Stephen Bartlett's one where he was asked, then, are you happy?
Yeah.
And I want to throw the same thing to you, because I find it interesting with creators. Do you think you're happy?
I have a great life. I've got no reason not to be happy. I've got my dream job and stuff like that. But I'm always driven by the desire to want more. And I think that limits your happiness, because you never feel like you get to a place where you're like, yeah, this is where I want to be.
And that's the problem with creation.
Yeah.
Because there is no, when you're constantly creating video after video after video, and it's about subscribers and this and that, there feels like there's no end to it.
Yeah, no end, exactly.
And that's quite a sort of daunting aspect, that, because if someone said to you, if someone you first started said, you're going to have 500,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
You would have been like...
ecstatic. I wouldn't, yeah.
I don't need any more.
Exactly.
I don't want any more.
Yeah, exactly.
And now you hit that, it's like, well, I still feel the same as I did before.
Yeah.
So maybe if I hit 1 million, it's going to make me feel better, or it's going to make me satisfied with where I am. And so what are we then striving towards? What are people striving towards?
Yeah. I mean, I think you're chasing a fulfillment you'll never have. And that, I genuinely think I am happy. I'm a happy person. I'm very happy with where I am, but I'm not fulfilled. And I don't think that, and I think that's something you'll always chase.
And that's not a bad thing, though, because it means that you're constantly striving to go forwards.
Yeah. But I think that's where burnout comes, though, because it's like you never sit down and you're happy with the way you are, and you appreciate your position and you're content with it. But
I have the same, but I have burnout on a cyclical basis, and my wife said he hates it. She's like, it's gonna come.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, deal with it.
Yeah.
Here it comes.
Yeah.
And then they do. How mine works is that I lose the joy for stuff.
Yeah. Same here.
It's crazy. And you go like, and then suddenly it comes back.
It comes back, yeah.
And then you drive yourself to the same thing.
Yeah. And when you get into that zone of burnout, you forget that what it feels like to snap out of it, and you think that it's going to be like that
forever.
That's it.
This is it forever.
Yeah. And that's when it takes my girlfriend to remind me, like, there's ups and downs, and you always come out of it, and you're better off afterwards. But in the moment, you're like, no, this is it. That's me done.
What's your support system like in those spaces?
I have a really good support system. My girlfriend's brilliant. She's grown with me through everything. I've been with her for 7 years. So
I can't wait to talk about her.
She's seen...
Sounded creepy.
Everything.
I can't wait to talk about her.
So she's been there from the beginning. She knows my ins and outs. She knows everything.
And you can be vulnerable in that space?
Yeah, 100%. And I've got great friends that are like inspirational friends, like in the space, and also friends from home.
Amazing. So you have that balance between the two. You have the history and the present.
Exactly. And then great family. So I've got a really good support system, but there's obviously times where I take it for granted, and I feel like, oh, no one can help me. They're giving me suggestions, but no, they don't understand. This is it. Like, this is a serious problem. But
yeah, this is never going to get better.
Yeah. And yeah, Liv gets frustrated because I'll be discussing a problem with her
Yeah.
because I like to just get it off my chest. And she'll give me solutions, which are valid solutions, but I'll be like, no, that won't work. No, that one won't work either. That won't work.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, I am trying to help, but it's,
No, you're not.
yeah. And I'm like, no, you're not. You don't get it. But it's because when you're in that mindset, you're like, no, I've tried everything. It's not, you don't get out of this burnout stage, but you do. It's just everything, you just feel zoned in that area.
This too shall pass. Always.
Yeah.
Are you competitive with other people or no? Because that's a really hard thing, right?
Silently, yeah. Not.
Yeah. I love it that you admit it. I always admit it. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not competitive out loud. Like I'll never make it known, and even in games, I won't be competitive. It's like whatever. If I lose, I lose. But in life, yeah, I'm competitive. I'll keep track of like what people are doing and compare it to myself, and think, oh, maybe I could do that better, and then I'll catch up, or I could go further ahead, or I'm always looking at things and how things perform and how I could be better.
Because I now see that some people copy your content.
Sure, yeah.
Have you noticed that?
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah, it's a weird one because it's like
they're doing your content.
Yeah, it's a weird because I don't know how to feel about it because immediately I'm like,
it's a positive.
Yeah, but immediately I'm like, that's really annoying. Why are you doing that? But then I'm like, well, it is a compliment because it's like they think it's funny, so they've done it themselves. It's a weird one because it's hard for me to get over the fact where I'm like, don't do that, make it your own. But
do you ever comment on them and go, hey, this looks really good?
I think there was one that there was a period where a guy had copied like 4 of my videos in a row. And it would be fine, but he had like a bigger following than me, and he was getting more views on the videos.
What was the content he was copying?
There's a video where I did when a friend shows you their baby, but it's ugly, and it was like that video, and it's almost word for word.
No,
I remember commenting, and I was like, "This looks familiar," and my comment got deleted. But that's the only time that I've ever commented on something like that's cheeky,
Just copying it.
Yeah, you're just outright taking my video and got more views with it. But I'm over that now. I don't.
Yeah, sounds like it.
I've forgotten about it, believe it or not. But I don't comment on things anymore. Like if someone copies my video or the concept, I'm like, it's inevitable.
Okay.
I'm not the first to do anything, so it's like even I'll post a video, and although it'll be like an idea unique to me, and I've thought of that. Someone probably would have done that before anyway. So it could be a subconscious where I'm like, I've seen something like this and I put it out in a video. I don't think anyone's really first to a concept, and it's rare when that happens. And when that happens, it's annoying because if you are first to a concept and someone copies it, it's like, well, that's just outright.
It's annoying, right?
Yeah.
When you post, do you still now, when you post videos, do you look at it? If it's not doing views, do you ever delete it?
I do.
Come on, baby.
It's so in the but what I do is I can tell by the morning if people like the video or not.
Do you wait that long? So you post in the evening and you wait till the morning?
Yeah. But TikTok can be temperamental because it can not perform for a plethora of reasons. Like I had a video that was a great video. It was about getting winded, and it's really relatable, really funny. I uploaded it. It was doing really well, and then TikTok took it off the For You page, but people could still see it on my account because it was dangerous. So I took it down and I waited a month, re-uploaded it. And in the caption, I just said, TikTok, this is fake. So a bot would look at it and be like, okay, this is just a recreation. It's not like someone getting winded and hurt. And the video got over like 4 million views and did really well. And I was like, okay, so sometimes it's just the way you package it that will...
Wow, it's just a slight little difference.
Exactly. And so sometimes that will happen now where I post a video and I'm like, no, I know that's funny. There's something going on that is meaning it's not done well. So I'll private it. I won't delete it because I think I read somewhere that if you delete a video on TikTok will monitor your account because they're like, well, why are you deleting videos? That's a bit suspicious.
Really?
Yeah. So your next video might not do as well. So you should always just private it.
Never delete it.
Never delete it.
Laura's looking at
And
me
then
because I delete things.
oh, do you start privating and then and then I'll re-upload it on a different day, and people will clock on as well. They'll comment and they'll be like, "Oh, I've already seen this before. I saw you deleted this. Nice try getting it past us."
Oh, shut up, you fuckers.
Yeah, but usually if I have like a gut feeling that a video should have done well,
Yeah.
and I private it and re-upload it, it usually does. So it's TikTok can be temperamental like that.
This is a big question for you. You might not want to answer it.
Go on.
If a video does on TikTok 4 million views, what revenue would you hope to get from something like that?
So it has to be over a minute long to earn money on that video. But so it works out, the way the rewards program works is, so 4 million views, only a certain amount of views are counted as actual views, has to be watched for over 5 seconds, and there's a few other things like that. So usually works out to be about half. So for 4 million view video, 2 million of those views count. And then I have an RPM of 50p per 1,000 views. So what's that? It's like, what is that? £400? Is it £400? How much is that? So 50p.
Don't worry, we'll cuddle this all out.
So 2 million.
Just make it really confident when you come back in.
2 million views. Wait, 2 million divided by 1,000 times 0.5. Oh, £1,000.
Okay, go.
Oh, just work that out, £1,000. No, I just really struggle with the math there. So 4 million view video, if it's over a minute long and is registered in the Creator Fund or whatever it's called now, that will earn £1,000. Whereas on YouTube, say you upload the RPM is very different. So it's like, can be up to £10 per 1,000 views.
Wow.
So a 1 million view video is probably getting close to 10 grand.
Wow.
In terms of revenue, yeah. So it's a big difference.
That is a big difference. But it's harder to get 1 million views on something like YouTube than it is on TikTok.
Yeah, absolutely. And harder to get monetized as well. I was uploading for 2 years before I managed to get monetized.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hustling.
And it's because I loved it. Like I said, I would do it if it wasn't my job. It was just a hobby for me. So I was like, okay.
As a guy, I've enjoyed every second of this, man.
Me too.
I really have.
It's been really fun.
It's been insane. I really appreciate everything. And I'm so glad that we got to do this. And I really admire what you're doing and your work ethic and your honesty. And what I also really admire is, I think you're so grounded. I think you're just obviously really well liked. And that's always like a good thing of someone who's completely grounded and just a good dude.
Yeah, that's really nice to hear.
No, it really is. So we like to end with 8 questions. Are you ready for this?
Yeah, sure.
What's the saying or phrase that makes you smile or cheers you up?
Ooh. Oh, I think, I don't believe in the saying, but my mum always says it. And I make fun of her for saying it all the time because she'll be on the phone to her friends and you could just hear it. She always says, everything happens for a reason. And even though I don't truly believe that, it's kind of some comfort knowing that it's your mum saying, oh, everything, even if something goes wrong, everything happens for a reason. It'll work out, you know?
Best compliment anyone's ever given you?
When someone feels comfortable in your presence. Yeah, when someone says that, oh, I know, I feel comfortable around you.
You have a great energy.
Yeah, like if someone feels, oh, I'm comfortable to be myself around you, that's really nice to hear.
What scares you most about yourself?
I've got a terrible sense of direction. That's terrifying. You put me anywhere. If I didn't have a phone, I'm not getting back. And even
from where?
Don't know. Even yesterday, I was supposed to go somewhere in East London. I ended up in West London, and I had to make my way back. It was like 40 minutes out of the way. I don't know how I managed it. Terrible.
I once got on a train. I was at Exeter St David's, and I got on a train to go back to London. And I was sitting on the train, and I was like so excited. I was like thinking about eating Scotch
Can't wait
eggs.
to get back.
I was actually thinking about getting mini Scotch eggs,
Oh, no.
and I was so excited. I was like, "This is amazing!"
Yeah.
And I was watching Parent Trap. And I looked out the window and I was like, where the fuck am I? And I went all the way to Penzance. And I was so angry, I punched the ground. And I had to fly back to London.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's actually one of the worst days of my life. I spent on my knees on the ground and punched the ground.
You love Scotch eggs.
I fucking
You really
love
do.
Scotch eggs. When was the last time you cried?
Not long ago, actually. It's probably from stress. Yeah, to be honest. Just getting overwhelmed, and then
And you just cried?
just cry. Yeah.
That screams sexy.
Oh, it was no, I'm an ugly crier, so it wasn't sexy. Just hideous, really.
Do you mind me saying don't laugh? But it is.
No, it's funny to laugh. It's funny to laugh. You should have seen my face. All squished up and wet.
What's something you can't let go of?
Drake. Actually. A lot of people have landed on Kendrick out of the beef.
But you're with Drake.
I'm with Drake. A lot of people say, oh, his music's gone downhill. I don't care.
You still love him.
I love Drake.
I love that.
Yeah.
What's your guilty pleasure?
Brunch, actually. Brunch.
I'm so
I
with.
love brunch.
That's the best answer ever. I
Yeah.
freaking love brunch.
I love brunch.
That's
I love
unbelievable.
it. I like to pretend I don't know what it is, but I know what it is and I love it. I want it every day.
I love brunch.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it?
Do you drink or not really?
I do drink, yeah.
Okay.
But
Alright.
I prefer the brunch. Oh, I drink, yeah. Oh, you want to
Oh yeah, I
Don't
drink.
test me, pal.
Yeah, I drink.
But I like the brunch without the drink. I just like just sober brunch, just straight up brunch.
I'm with you, man.
Yeah,
I think
so great.
pancakes are one of the most underrated
Oh,
things.
Yeah.
What turns you off?
Arrogance. Yeah. Don't like it when people are arrogant.
What turns you on?
Oh, the Elizabeth line. Oh, it's so good. So comfortable. It's by far the best line ever. Do you know what I mean? You step in there and you're just comfortable. I could just stay in that carriage all day. That's great for me, yeah.
What do you like most about yourself?
I think if I decide I want to do something, I will do it. You know, if I decide, oh, that's my goal, then I'll make sure that I do. Yeah, I achieve that.
I love that, man.
Mm.
Bonus favorite swear word.
Oh, I can say anything,
Anything you want,
even the bad one.
or if you want to. Go on, say it.
I like.
Now the swear word.
I think it's the best one. It's the most powerful, and you don't get to say it enough as well. So it's one that you really feel good saying it.
I also want to shout out your podcast, man. I listen to it.
Thank you.
It's,
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I listen. It's really good. I
Wow.
really like it.
Thank
And
you, I
it's just
appreciate
come
that.
back as well, hasn't it?
Yeah, just come back for season 2. Yeah,
Man, you're amazing. I really enjoyed this, dude. And
I really enjoyed it. It was really good.
You're just amazing. And I just want everyone to go and check it because I remember I first saw your content. I sent you a message being
Yeah,
like,
I couldn't believe that at the time as well. I was
Could
like,
you
oh
not?
my god, Jamie is seen my
Man,
video.
it
Yeah,
was-
couldn't believe it.
And I am truly a fan. Like if I ever am having a shit day, or I always go to your content. I mean, you
amazing.
did one. I think it was today where you you did the trend about. It's going to be so out of date if we say this. Like, anyway, where you know the trend that's going around on TikTok. Like, this is my emergency
Contact, yeah.
You did. And you did the face.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh man, this has been so much fun. I just want everyone to go listen to your podcast, go and check out all your content, all your YouTube, everything like that. Before we say goodbye, can you say goodbye as an eagle?
It's getting worse.
Isaac, thank you so much.
Thank you.